I hadn't planned on coming out today. When I went to bed last night, I thought, no, take this weekend off. Stay home, get some other stuff done. I've got plenty of things to do around the house, and then a few videos to shoot as well. For Capitalism Ho, the other things that I do about my stuff. I did research on a couple of things, and I picked out some stories. And anyway, I've got plenty of things to do there and shoot for that kind of stuff. But I woke up this morning and I just thought, no, get out, get the practice in. You saw a lot of birds last time. It was a good time out, and you'll probably have another one, hopefully. We shall see. And the weather should be fine. It'll be partly cloudy, which would be good if it's more part than cloud. We'll get some good sun to get some nice shots. And hopefully the wildlife will be out. I think we might be able to see the river today. The actual flowing water. It looked like that on the drive in. I think enough snow has melted and enough water is flowing through that it's kind of cleared it out. We'll see. Haven't gotten out of the car yet, obviously. But that's something I'm going to do. And then I messed with the camera settings. I don't know why I'm doing this like you can see the bag. This isn't really a good shot. There's too much headroom. That's better. That's not the bag I keep the camera in, but that's a bag. Anyway, I messed with the settings after last week where I was overexposing by a lot because the time that I'd been using the camera previously had been shot inside. So the settings there are wildly different from out here. And I just didn't notice and forgot to change my settings back to what they were. But I did some work. I changed some of the custom settings. I'm still learning the Sony camera as opposed to the Canon that I used for years, which still took me years to figure everything out. Because I'd get it and I'd go, okay, great, that's all I need to know. And then 6 months later, I'd be like, well, I'm really having this one trouble. Is anyone else having this trouble with this camera? And Google it and they go, just change this setting. It's like, oh. And there's just so many. And the Canon did not have that many. I was using a very old camera. This is much newer, and there's a bajillion settings for all the various things, and not everything is fully explained. And I did read the manual. I sat down and read. It's just boring, but I sat down and read everything that I could. It's just not much of it sticks. That was almost a year ago I've been using this camera. So anyway, some of the things that I changed. I hope my color will be better now because I will be shooting not in auto, but in actual... Man, learning the video and the color grading side of things is so different. And it was real easy when I was doing just still photography. I'm going to say, it wasn't easy, but it was easy to understand. I just changed it instead of shooting in a JPEG to shooting in RAW. And then when I got video cameras, I was shooting with Blackmagic, which I can shoot in RAW, their version of RAW, and do the exact same thing for the color grading. That's why I like those. But the Sony has actually been really useful for lightweight and, a lot of things. I've been enjoying shooting with that quite a bit. But I was just shooting in a color space that was auto, and I would try to put, I would try to color grade it. It's a whole thing. It gets very technical, but basically I should be shooting in a way now that is much easier to color grade, and the colors should look better, and there's not as much of me going, why did it do that? Why is the sky that blue in the background? That's not what the sky looks like, and having to try to tweak things, which is annoying. And especially with this kind of stuff, I try to put in that much effort when I'm doing like a concise video of just wildlife, and those are what I see in my head as more like documentary, like when it's just that. When I'm just putting it in here, I just slap a pre-made solution on there, something like that. I'll tweak it if it necessarily needs it, but I don't try to put that much time and effort into it because, to be honest, it takes a really long time and I don't like editing. So I save that for when I do like a big, when I did like the bison or the elk. Those are ones that I color grade by hand, and they, I think, come out better. I have a lot more control over them anyway, but that's the whole point of those videos. Anyway, the point is I changed some camera settings, so I think that also kind of pushed me to get out. Is like, well, you did all that work. You had to sit there and research for several hours and mess with camera settings and get everything set up and kind of test it back on Monday. So you got to use it. Anyway, we're going to see what we can see today. That's enough of rambling about that stuff. That's all I got. I didn't plan for anything. I don't have any science experiments to see how the weather fares and what temperatures are or anything. We're just going to go see what wildlife we see, and hopefully we see some cool birds. Almost made it through that without flubbing. All right. All right. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Definitely saw a pretty good amount. Weather conditions, kind of cloudy, but is what it is. Mostly clouds, more clouds than not, but still saw a pretty good amount. We'll go to the editor to find out exactly if there was anything new. I don't think there was, but we'll find out.
The editor will do it. Leave it to the editor. Editor, do this.
Michael did see a fair amount of birds today, including American robin to start us out with. Also, a little peek of a red-winged blackbird like the previous week. And then waterfowl on the water. Michael also got to watch a crow for a little bit as it was landing on the branches, doing some calls, and some pretty interesting behavior. One that Michael hasn't seen in a good bit, the northern flicker, doing its call. Very cool.
and then darting in and amongst those trees, those tricky chickadees. That was about all that Michael saw on this day, but some audio clips for your listening pleasure, and then we'll jump back to where Michael left off.
Something I did find very interesting that I won't share any of the footage of. After a while, this park is near a town, and there's some kind of building for I don't know what they do. They've got stuff outside near the water that kind of make me think it pumps water. But that had machinery going, loud machinery. So eventually I realized I wasn't going to get much for audio, and I moved on and wasn't seeing a whole lot at the spot that I was at, so I moved. And I'm walking around and things, and then something catches my eye. And it is fur, but it's also red. Some kind of animal got. And I don't know what it was. So I immediately, once I saw it, I backed up, I looked all around, I did thorough sweeps to make sure it didn't look fresh, there wasn't a smell or anything. But there was some kind of remains of a carcass of some kind. So I looked all over first to make sure whatever had gotten it, predator-wise, was not still hanging around. I didn't see anything. There have been reports of mountain lions and mountain lion attacks. We are in that area, so it's definitely possible, but not here specifically, more 45 an hour north, and especially up near the national park. But still, the threat's there. So I scanned everything, make sure, and then I got a little bit closer. Yeah, I took a picture, see if I could identify it, kind of peek around. I didn't want to get too close. I was not about to touch anything, but I couldn't tell what it was. It had mixed fur of like brown and gray and kind of red. Fox, maybe? I don't know. It was smaller, but there was nothing identifiable left. So I don't know what got it. It was not a bird. It had fur like, I don't know. I don't want to say a porcupine. I don't think that. Maybe a badger? Or a beaver, some small mammal like that, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. But something ate part of it and then left the rest, and I don't know why. It was very interesting. But again, there was nothing identifiable. So I don't know what it was, and I won't share any of the footage of that because that's not appropriate. It's nature. And I'm not comfortable with it. Exactly. Like I'm squeamish when it comes to that, looking at it and stuff, but I don't think I could put up images of that on YouTube and not get flagged. It's not appropriate. So anyway, I think that was it. Not bad time out. Good walking around, good times. The snow has melted a bit, and now it's just kind of all compacted and hard and ice, so there's not as much sinking in when I'm walking, which is nice. It's more of just walking on top. And definitely quite a few birds, wildlife, and all the ones I saw. Good stuff. Hopefully some of it comes out. Mostly still up in the trees, but some of them are coming a little bit down. Those chickadees are so quick and so fast. They go all over the place. It's really hard to keep track of them. But I did see quite a few of those. Anyway, that'll do it for today. I'm thinking I want to go back to a spot. I like the spot. I keep coming here because it's nice and there's definitely birds to see. But I I know that there is a spot a couple hours north of here, out in the plains. It's kind of like an auto tour. I've been there before, part of a national park forest thing. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but I went there last year, and I went with this camera body, but not this camera lens. You can't see it, it's out of frame. Anyway, and I had trouble with the lens. That was why I bought this lens, was I was having trouble with it, and the autofocus and things. So I'm thinking I might do that again. Now the snow has melted and the roads are totally clear, so I imagine even if I go north, because it's kind of flat out there and it's not as high in elevation in the mountains, it is not in the Rocky Mountains as far as I know, I should be able to get back out there and see that. I imagine there's not too much snow on the ground if there is some. So, good stuff. And that's what I'm hoping. I might do that next weekend or coming up soon, because I'd like to do that at least one more time before moving. Although I don't know where or when yet we are moving, but I do know that this summer there will be a move. And so I want to try to visit some of the places that I identified. There was a bunch of waterfowl there. I could have gotten some good footage, and some of the video turned out all right. I just need to get there probably earlier because it's so flat there. The golden hour is like 10 minutes. Anyway, that's all I got for today, I think. Gonna pack everything up and head on home. Get all this stuff edited. Hopefully, stuff comes out looking even better with the color-wise, since I'm using the profile stuff. And those custom settings worked much better. Quite happy with that. Anyway, until next time.